This meeting is being recorded.
Good morning, Andrew. Greetings. So, friends, we're trying a new time this morning, and I'm going to recommend, if others don't show up, that we convene this evening, if that works, at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 p.m. Pacific time. And then, Andrew, you and I can touch base on a number of matters, and Fito, you and I can do the same. So let's just give it a few more minutes to see if others show up, and if not, we will adjourn till this evening. But as mentioned, we can speak, Andrew, you and I, and Fito, you and I as well, if that's okay.
Certainly, although it'll have to be on the phone. I'm in a shared environment, so I can't speak loudly on Zoom. So it'll have to be by phone.
Yeah, that's fine, Andrew. That's fine. So I'm going to pause the recording for the moment. We'll just give it a few more minutes. So friends, I'm going to bring up on the screen share a passage, and we will return to that this evening. Can you all see it?
Yes, I see it.
Okay. Friend Rudolf Steiner
Yeah.
didn't frequently delve, and we don't need to record this. We'll pick this up this evening. Though friend Rudolf Steiner didn't frequently delve into Anthroposophy in depths, his work on Anthroposophy suggested that the former is a foundational esoteric knowledge that underpins the latter's application in real-world activities and transformations. While Rudolf Steiner did not often use the term Anthroposophy explicitly in his writings or lectures, he did speak about concepts closely related to it, such as spiritual wisdom and understanding of the human being. In a lecture from 1924, Steiner made a distinction between Anthroposophy and Anthroposophy, though it is not widely quoted or easily accessible passage. Here is one relevant quote that hints at the essence of what Steiner meant by Anthroposophy. Anthroposophy, in its deeper meaning, is the science of the spirit. But Anthroposophy is a true wisdom of the human being. Anthroposophy is a wisdom of the human spirit, which is realized through the inner development of the human being. This wisdom is a basis for all true knowledge of humanity and the cosmos. So the individual human being is a microcosm of the macrocosm. So a knowledge of the individual human being leads us to a knowledge of the universe. And that's what friend Rudolf Steiner offers us in his basic books, which are comprehensive in that way. So let us then, Andrew, do you want to say something?
Yes, before you go, could you walk me through the access to share your screen to the place on the website that shows our calendar? You talked about it yesterday, but could you physically just right now share your screen so I can access it?
So Andrew, I'd be glad to, but I didn't quite hear what you're asking me to show you what?
The event page on the website, you said there's a page on our website that has the events.
Okay, sure. Just a moment.
You can share the link to Andrew, right?
Yeah.
And you can access it by himself.
I think you wanted me to take him there.
Yes, please. Also, perhaps we could also test whether we can broadcast or not, but we'll do one thing at a time.
Okay, one moment. Just one sec. So Andrew, you see this our home page.
Okay. Yes.
And our menu,
Okay.
educational programs,
Yes.
the 2025 All-American Epiphany Con-vocation.
Excellent.
And then let me show you here, there are a couple of PDFs. So it's all American. Do you see the head of the dragon here with its wings going up?
Ah, there is a anthropological implication there of a dragon's head. Yes.
Its body is the United States. Its talons, claws comes down and grips Colombia, which column comes from the word dove. And I see here a dove in the jaws of the dragon. Do you have a sense of what I'm saying?
I do, and I do want to let you know, Stuart, that although there are just the three of us here, when two or more are gathered, we do have, I think, a quorum. And I am recording this. For your information, yesterday's part one in the morning, it received 11 viewers so far on our Facebook page. Last night's event showed 2 viewers so far on our, on a YouTube page. But I would like to share this walkthrough this morning, if you have time, with that audience to build awareness of what actually we are doing for these next several weeks, if that's okay with you.
Sure. So how would you like to do that?
Just as you're doing now, just walking us through a description of what these documents, if you have time. I think it's important to walk people through what the content is that we're sharing with them. So if you'd be so kind as to walk us through as you were doing this and the other PDF, I would appreciate that.
Okay. So Vito, you have time until when? Just to make sure we cover that base. You have time until when?
So now I have time. From now I have time until 10:30.
Okay.
By 10:30, yes.
Okay, so you have time until 10:30. Okay, so we'll take the time with Andrew now, and then you and I can speak. So, Andrew, do you want me to just proceed?
Yes, please. Thank you so much.
So this is a 2025 All-American Epiphany Con-vocation. Epiphany is January 6th, and it is called Little Christmas or Three Kings Day, but it actually means the day of the return of the light from above. So after the 13 holy nights and the 12 days of Christmas, and really the depths of winter, then on January 6th, Epiphany, we have the little Christmas and the day of the return of the light from above. And so this whole convocation, which isn't a conference or a symposium or a seminar, but it's a calling together, a convocation, a calling together, is about how we can bring light into the new year. It's all American in so much as we make the unfortunate mistake of referring to the United States as America. We have the Americas going up from Canada through the United States to Mexico, Central America, and South America. And so I think for us really to the United States to fulfill its mission, we need to ease up on what comes across to the others in the Americas as something of an imperialistic impulse. So this
before you go further, Stuart, I would like to just comment. The intersection between the Center for American Studies at Concord and what I loosely refer to as the Andrew Networks is actually the Friends of the African Union, Herschel Daniels. And it was in 2012 when my visit to Bermuda and Corin Smith, we developed this social construct called the Kwanzaa Accord. Herschel Daniels was the second organization to adapt this as a strategy. And he went on to appoint Corin and me as co-directors of the Friends of the Africa Union Bermuda Americas Bureau. Americas meaning, as you just explained, North America, Central America, the Caribbean, and South America as an entity, or at least as the geographic description of the land masses that provide us with our unity to connect together this entire hemisphere with the rest of the world. So thank you for allowing me to share that.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. So this is an attempt through the Center for American Studies, which started in Concord, but is really all over the country and all over the world, in groups as small as 2 or more and in groups larger, to really grasp the fullness of what America, North, Central, South means. And in America, I'll see if I can bring this up because it says a lot here. One moment. There is a great mystery in America, the word America. One moment. It's more readily realized by viewing it. By viewing it. But forgive me. Thank you for your patience, friends. Just one moment. Otherwise, we will. So picture the word America. And then I will actually, I can do it this way. I'll type it out.
If you stop sharing the screen and start again, that helps you if you choose.
I will do that. I will do that. Can you see this empty page for a moment?
Yes, American, yes, yes.
Okay, so America. And then we go to Mary, Ka, okay? And then we go to Mary, Ka. And then we go to Mary, Ka, Sa. So in the middle of America, we have Mary. And can become as in wonder and reverence, and Ka can become Kasa, as in the home. So the home of the wondrous and reverent Mary, or some say the land of the Holy Spirit. So continuing, Andrew, with what you've asked of me here, let's go back for a moment can you all see this?
Not yet.
Okay, one moment.
Yes.
So here we have the convocation. January 6th up to March 25th. We live in extraordinary times that ask of us extraordinary efforts. Without a vision, the people perish. And then per spiritum sanctum revivissimus, through the Holy Spirit, we're resurrected. The sun rises in the east and it moves west. It sets in the west. The shadows gather. One can speak of it as that land, as we've seen through technology, where the death forces are in our age most pronounced. And what does one bring to death but the promise of resurrection? Without a vision, the people perish. Per spiritum sanctum revivissimus. Through the Holy Spirit, we're resurrected. This is Latin. And then a quote from Emerson. I am defeated all the time, yet to victory I am born. And his whole life philosophy can be summed up in 7 letters comprising 3 words, each word the same in sound. I. Then we come to call me not master, call me friend. So this is honoring the 100th anniversary of the passing of friend Rudolf Steiner, who, if he's known, not by a great many in America, in the United States or the Americas, but if he's known through the Waldorf schools, through the Camp Hill movement, through the remarkable work of biodynamic agriculture, which was a forerunner of organic agriculture. In fact, biodynamic, bringing the earth and the bio and the heavens and the dynamic revolving heavens. It might be known by the Christian community and many other practical impulses. So that is the labors of love of this friend, Rudolf Steiner. And here's a poem about him. We deal with the format. Anybody is welcome to bring an offering. We don't speak about lectures or talks or speeches, but offerings. And there are 8 essential audiences to whom the work is addressed. There are those who are members of the Anthroposophical Society, which is a work of friend Rudolf Steiner. They're friends of the Anthroposophical Society. They're fellow, what we refer to as Michaelites, and that refers back, for those who can imagine, to the Archangel Michael. And some say we live in a Michaelic age. So Michaelites are those, they may know nothing about anthroposophy, but they are remarkable spirits who are serving our age. Michael has been described as that archangel who is the countenance of Christ. Not Jesus, but Christ, the Christ being. So that's the third audience, the Michaelites. Then we have interested fellow citizens. So for instance, those who may be attracted by the Facebook. We have prisoners from whom we'll be hearing. We have veterans whose service has been murder and war, and who are looking for resurrection wisdom, which I suggest one can find in part in Anthroposophy. And then we have those kith and kin who are wondering what we are doing with this unwieldy word Anthroposophy, with what appears to be this mystical movement. And they are our 7th audience, and we have presentations being prepared for them, such as mysticism, spiritual science, and a consecrated common sense for dummies, with all due respects, which really introduces to this audience, not to dismiss them out of a kind of hubris, but to reach out. And then the final audience, which was the beginning of our work from Epiphany for the next about 18 days, is we're reaching to those on the other side of the threshold, who are not perhaps as dead as we may imagine. Who hasn't said, grandmother came to mind, grandfather was in my thoughts. The bridge, I believe, needs to be built if we're to have a future worth envisioning, that there are many with whom we're connected, with whom there was a deep love, who have an elevated perspective, who may not be quite as dead as we imagine, and with whom, if we can build the bridge, much of fruit can come. So, Andrew, I think I'll pause there with the overview. Again, this is honoring the 100th anniversary of the passing of friend Rudolf Steiner.
Okay.
And trying to bring together, in the spirit of e pluribus unum, out of many one, to bring together our shared humanity out of a wisdom, a deeper wisdom of the human being.
So time zone wise, Pito mentioned he has to leave at 10:30. Does that mean now? Is it 10:30 now where he is?
No, it's 9:30 where he is, I think.
Well, unless you have other pressing engagements, Stuart, I believe this is an excellent opportunity to share with a wider audience the content as you're doing. But if you're not up to it, perhaps we can do it at some other time.
Well, what would that involve, the sharing of it, Andrew?
Well, just a continuation of what you've done. You said this is one of 2 PDFs that you were sharing, and if at all possible, just continue with the what you were sharing with us here in front of us, Stuart.
Well, I would say, since there's a lot in what I've offered so far, can we do it in pieces? Can we just do this part first?
Of course, yes. Thank you for sure.
If that makes sense, Andrew, and then I'm glad to do more. But I do want to address Fito's situation, and also for us to catch up regarding the Philippines.
Excellent, excellent. As a matter of fact, I think it might be a good idea for us to give it in bite-sized chunks. We can always add to it as we go forward. So thank you for sharing this much. We'll just pick up from here when we go at the next session.
Good. And Andrew, I will call you then when I'm finished with Fito.
All right, thank you so much. I do have some chores here, but I'll be available after the next 35, 40, about an hour from now, I'll be available.
Good.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Vito. Have a wonderful day. Oh, before we go, I'd like to test to see whether I can share a broadcast. You mentioned you wanted to see if we could broadcast this. If Vito could briefly make me host, I can find out in less than a minute whether I can broadcast this or not.
Can you make Andrew host, Vito?
Yes, no problem. Now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, just one moment, please. Okay, so it looks as though I can live stream. I'm testing this now. Yes, it looks as though I can live stream on Facebook. Let me also test the other options I have at the moment, please. So the short answer, Stuart, is yes. I can simply broadcast. Yes, I can see both to YouTube and or to Facebook. So that answered my question. Thank you so much. That was a question I wanted to answer. Thank you so much.
Good.
You're welcome.
So that's hope, I guess.
Andrew, I'll follow up. I'm not exactly sure when it will be, but it'll be as soon as I can. I have a number of things I need to be attending to with my host and some meetings in Montgomery, but I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Anytime up until like 5 o'clock today, so I'll be available, Stuart. No problem.
Great.
All right,
Thank
thank you so much. I'm going to end this session.